Kyren Willaims' combine. What does it mean? Let's be honest. Kyren Willaims came out at the combine and laid an absolute egg, a rotten egg of athletic testing. And how do we put this in context? What can we expect going forward now that we have these numbers documented in the history books for the NFL Combine? So Kyren Willaims, he came in at 5'9", but 194 pounds. So he was already, throwing up red flags on weigh-in day, coming in at not just 200 pounds, or sub 200 pounds, but pretty significantly sub 200 pounds at 194. Some people thought he could come up to 205, and that did not happen. He was 11 pounds shy of what some people were hoping. So that's the first problem. And then we have his 40 time. And if you follow me, I kind of rail on 40 times. I don't think they're the end all be all, especially for wide receivers, but I do think they matter a little bit more for running backs because we need that upside and ability to produce value, especially in an era where you're not getting guys who are having 400 carries anymore. So I want the guys who can break away. Chunk gainers are nice and probably good for actual NFL teams, but a chunk gainer who can't break anything away is going to be limited for fantasy unless they're like Le'Veon Bell getting 400 touches in the season. So Kyren Willaims goes out. His unofficial 40 was over 4.7, and that is truly almost unbelievable, especially coming in at under 200 pounds. You're like, well, okay, he's going to blaze a 4.3 40, and everyone's going to be like, loving him, and he's underweight, but it doesn't matter. He was underweight and ran a 4.7. Unofficial. I think they corrected it to 4.65, but still, this is a big problem, I think, when you're projecting Kyren Willaims' overall ability to be a dynamic playmaker in the NFL. The guy caught 77 passes in 2 years as a sophomore and a junior. So he has pass catching prowess. He will catch passes for an NFL team. He'll be used on third downs. He can block really well, as a pass blocker. So you do love to see that. And I think he's going to have a role. But at this point, I definitely think that 40 time and some of his other measurements put a real damper on his ability to get day 2 draft capital. I think we're looking at a day 3 guy now, maybe round 4, round 5. I just do not think an NFL team is going to take him in the second or third round with this athleticism profile, which is truly one of the worst we've seen. Now, there are historical comparisons. I believe Dave Wilsey brought up Ahmad Bradshaw is kind of a comp with these numbers. He had a great NFL career. Deion Lewis, another one who had flashes, certainly. I think he really ended up having one really good year in the NFL, was a contributor in some other ways. But for fantasy, Deion Lewis had like one good year for the Patriots. I think his overall, so it's not impossible, but I think his overall projection at this point takes a big hit. The nice thing, silver lining, is now you're not going to need to spend anything more probably than a third round rookie pick on him, and maybe hope he really becomes a great pass catcher. I thought he was kind of an elite pass catcher. He still may be running routes and things like that. For wide receivers, I don't have a huge problem with a 4.6 40. For running backs, I am less excited, especially when it's just, you kind of got to look at this like an NFL decision maker, right? You got all these players to choose from. You got free agents to choose from. All these guys, are they really going to say, okay, he's 194. We can't run him between the tackles. We can't really run him at the goal line. He's slow. So if I'm using him out in between the 20s, maybe he'll pick up a first down, but he's not going to be breaking these big runs probably. It's just, where does he fit in an offense? A pass catcher, a third down pass blocker. Okay, that's great. That doesn't get you any points for fantasy. So, I think he's got some skills that will translate to staying on an NFL roster. I have real concerns now for his ability to produce anything meaningful for fantasy. Like I said, the nice thing is you're not going to spend a premium pick on him and take a stab in the third round because basically everybody at that point's a dart throw, and pass catching running backs are always in style. But I do think this combine was a big L for Kyren Willaims, and I think it hurts his real life draft stock. I think it hurts his fantasy draft stock, and I think the overall upside here is limited now. And so, unfortunately, I was kind of excited about him, but he tumbles down because it wasn't that he didn't run a 4.3. It's that he didn't even meet threshold, which is like a 4.6. He still didn't even meet a threshold. If he had run a 4.54, I'd be fine. But there is kind of a threshold test here, and he didn't meet it. Stick with Campus to Canton. We're going to keep putting out these little shorts, combine reactions, and then also go visit the site, campustocanton.com, and like and subscribe this video if you like what you heard. We'll keep putting these things out.